What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I want to talk about something that we all do, and I think we need to stop. We all do it, myself included. We need to stop because I think it is hindering us living our best life. And what I'm talking about is the fact that we limit ourselves in what we believe we can achieve, what we believe we can do, what we believe we can experience, what we believe we can have in this life. Like, we know that there are endless possibilities out there. There are so many possibilities out there for what we can do in this life, places we can go, people we can interact with, bucket list things we can check off our list. There's so many, we can't even achieve them all. You know, on a regular basis, I'll be talking with somebody and they'll tell me about something. And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even think about that. People tell me about jobs sometimes. And I'm like, bro, I didn't even know that was a job. Like, that's cool. Like, there's just so many things out there. But instead of living our lives just focused on like, I'm just trying to get the most out of this 80, 90 years I got, I'm gonna do some of this really cool stuff. Instead, we just kind of take a consensus of the people around us who remind ourselves of us, right? We look at people in similar regions. We look at people with similar financial background, maybe same gender, maybe same religion, same racial background. We kind of look around the world around us, kind of closest to us, and we just get a consensus of what they're all doing, and we decide, oh, well, that's probably all I can do. This is what we do. Now, we're humans, we're social creatures. This makes sense, but it also doesn't. You know what I mean? If we were like deer, that makes sense, okay? Deers do what deers do. You know what I mean? Every now and then you might catch a crazy deer off doing something by itself, but that deer usually gets eaten, you know? So it's smart for a deer to do what all the other deers does, okay? But for humans with free will and imagination and the capability of like super high level intelligent thought, or what we like to think is super high level intelligent thought, it doesn't make sense when we know there's so much more out there that was put there for us to do. Like, I'm not out here saying try to do non-human stuff. All the stuff I'm talking about is like human stuff that some humans are doing. Most of us have things we would love to do that other humans are doing, but we don't think we could do it for whatever reason. And it's mainly because we just decided, because most of the people around us aren't doing it, we probably can't do it either. And that's crazy. Like, even when we see the outliers or we see the people doing it, we think they're special. It's like, hey, that person's over there doing it. Like, oh yeah, but you don't understand, that person this, that person that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why do we do that? Why do we have things we really want to do and we just convince ourselves we can't do them? It seems to me like it would make more sense that we would all be stubborn and naive, delusional dreamers like I try to be, and just be like, I'm doing it. Okay? I don't care if right now I don't have the money. I don't care if right now I have to work full time and I don't have the time. I don't care if right now I don't have the people in my life or the things in my life, the tools in my life I need to do it. I'm gonna figure out how to do it. It seems like that would be the normal way to live your life as a human being with like the physical capabilities we have, the brain we have. Why don't we do that? You know, I like to think about the example of, if you ask somebody, hey, what do you think your life will be like 5 years from now? You know, they'll give you an answer. Might be doing this, might be doing that. Not a very high energy answer. Every now and then you'll meet somebody who has a plan, who's kind of animated about it. But it's typically like more of the same, right? But ask somebody, hey, if you won the lottery, 100 mil, what are you doing 5 years from now? Notice how animated they get. Notice how their energy ramps up, and all of a sudden they got all these things that we'll be doing. Which lets you know that like they know there are opportunities out there. They know there are things they want to do. They just don't think they have the money to do it. And so they've resigned themselves to not doing it because they don't think they'll ever have the money. And in my mind, I'm like, why wouldn't we all just be like, hey, when I get the money, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And that's not to say everybody's dreams revolve around large amounts of money. Actually, when people talk about like winning the lottery, some of the stuff they mention doesn't take a lot of money. Wouldn't take hundreds of millions. You could do it for a couple thousand. But that's just one example of, a lot of times we've just told ourselves, I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the background. I don't have the intelligence. I don't have whatever it is. Or people like me don't have access to whatever it is that I need to do so and so. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to keep living this humdrum existence because that's all I can do. But like, if that humdrum existence is not making us happy, if it's not making us fulfilled, why wouldn't we spend the rest of our life fighting tooth and nail to get to a life that is, to do some of the stuff that will make us happy? And I'm not just talking about like single people like myself with no real responsibility. I'm just saying all of us. There should never be anything that like stops us from dreaming, okay? Even if you're like, hey, I got kids, I got a mortgage, I got this, I have to take care of those responsibilities, that's commendable. But as a dreamer, you can say, I am going to take care of my kids. I'm going to take care of my mortgage, all my responsibilities, take care of my parents if they need me to. I'm gonna do all that and still find a way to do some of the stuff I'm trying to do in this life. There's no reason why all of us can't say that, no matter what situation we're in. Even sadly, if we're dealing with like health problems or we're disabled or some other things that I've never been through that I can't even begin to imagine how traumatic and hard it is. I think even in those situations, one of the keys to life is to always be dreaming and trying to do more. Always be dreaming and trying to do more, or trying to do the most we can. I'm not even gonna say do more, do the most. You know what I mean? It's like we all have capabilities, talking to myself again, as always, capabilities and things we can do, and we're just not doing them. And sometimes it is the fear, but a lot of times we don't even get to the stage of being scared of it because we won't even allow ourselves to believe it can be done. Be stubborn, be naive. People are always like, well, Timothy, I'm a realist. I'm not, okay? I'm not. Honestly, I think we all got different reality. Like, how can you be a realist when what really is reality? Like saying you're a realist is actually circular reasoning, right? Because you determine your reality and then you say, oh, I'm a realist because I live in reality. But each one of us determines our own reality. So you're basically going in a circle. I determine my reality and then I say I only believe in that reality. But you determined it, right? You determine your own reality. I look around at some people and they just will not give up. They just keep going. I've mentioned this many times over the years. Evil people taught me this. Evil, greedy people taught me this. Okay, you can take something from anybody in life. Evil, greedy people do not give up. People wrapped up in lust, they don't ever give up. And I'm not saying what they do is right in any way, shape, or form. None of that is part of my moral code. But I looked and I was like, how come a lot of these power hungry, evil, greedy people get all this stuff? Because they don't give up. They don't give up. Now, eventually they get caught because it's their undoing, because they're going after the wrong thing. But imagine if you put the same energy into your dreams that Bernie Madoff put into scamming senior citizens. You know what I mean? Bernie Madoff was already rich and he just needed more for no reason. And that was his life's work. And look how much money he took from people, which is despicable and horrible when he got caught. But like, what if we put that much energy into something? Think about the major conquerors in history. What if we put that much energy? They have just as much energy as we have. They have just as much time in a day as we have. They have just as much abilities as we have. What if we put that much time and energy into our little dreams? I'm not trying to conquer the world. I'm not trying to be a billionaire. I just want to see 25 countries. I just want to come up with, 3 side hustles that will allow me to finance my lifestyle. I just want to get healthy. You know what I mean? I just want to be happy. That's it. I'm like, imagine if every single day I woke up and those were my goals. If that's what I was trying to do, and I would not waver. Think about your goals. I did something this morning I hadn't done in a long time, and I implore you to do this. Think about your goals, and if you're a night person, do it tonight. If you're a morning person, do it tomorrow morning. Whenever your brain is the sharpest. Write down, either type it in your phone, write it out with a pen and pencil if you can find one, type it into your tablet, laptop, say it aloud to a friend. I don't know. But 5 statements of like, this is what my life is going to be in the future. And like, don't hold back. I did this morning. The first one. I am healthy. My gut issues are completely gone. I don't have any health issues. That was top of the list, and then I wrote down some things, goals I have about travel. I want to travel 25 plus countries. I want to have the financial abundance so that when I travel to these countries, I could do it at a level of like, I didn't say luxury, but like at a level that's right to me. Basically, I want to stay in nice hotels and Airbnbs and hostels, okay? And I don't want to have to worry about the money. And just some other stuff. Like, think about your dream, like literally like your dream life. Like if you had a genie in a bottle or something and could be granted 3 wishes or whatever, like what would your life look like? Write it down. Write it down. Put it somewhere, read it on a regular basis, think about it. On those times when like you're down and you're thinking about everything going wrong, come back to that. Nope. This is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm going to do. Here's the thing. You don't have to have a plan. You don't have to have a plan. Okay? I don't know how I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm just taking it a day at a time. What can I do today to help me with these goals? That's it. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know if it's going to take 10 years. I don't know what, but like, this is what I'm trying to do. And can't nobody tell me I can't do it. Oh, Tim, you're not smart enough. You're too broke. You're too black, whatever. No, I'm doing all this. I'm doing it, or I'm going to die trying. It was an old 50 Cent album, Get Rich or Die Trying. Like, I'm going to do this stuff or I'm going to die trying. And I know there will be hurdles and stumbling blocks along the way, but I also know I'll get help. That's a big part of it too, is like, once you start believing, I think the universe just starts helping you. Think about this. I have talked to so many people who have said things like, I never knew I could love like I love my kids, right? Which means that before you had kids, you had no concept of how much you could love them. Like, I have no concept of how you could love a kid. I'll never know. But before these people had kids, they had no concept of how much they could love that kid, right? People were like, oh man, I never knew I could meet someone and marry someone and be this happy, Other people, hey, I never knew I've said this before, I've never knew like I could find a place to work and have the work situation that I appreciated so much. I say this all to say, a lot of us have things in our life or had things in our life before that we had no concept of how amazing or awesome it could be before they came into our lives. And for a lot of us, we didn't really do anything to get it. It just kind of happened. You just met that person. Well, I mean, you did something to have the kids, but like, it wasn't that big a deal. You was gonna do it anyway, if you know what I'm saying. I did have to apply for the job and get the job, but I ended up in a situation that really worked out. So many of us have amazing things happen to us that we played no part in it. So many of our friendships, I mean, think about family members. I was just born and my parents were there and they're awesome. My siblings were there and they're amazing. You know what I mean? So like, why don't we believe that all this other stuff that we want to happen can kind of just happen, can work out? Why do we feel like now all of a sudden everything has to have a plan? If I can't see a clear-cut path or a clear-cut plan, I don't believe I can do it. That's crazy. Most of the best things in our life, there was no plan. It just kind of happened, or we just was doing what we were doing and we stumbled across it. We just got to believe, like, we got to stop limiting ourselves based on other people's lives who limited themselves. Everybody else around you can just be dictating how their life is going to go based on everyone else around them, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We don't have to do that. We can be stubborn. We can think outside the box. We can throw the whole box away. We can just think, you know what I mean? There doesn't need to be a box. Inside, outside, above it. No, forget the box, bro. Just think, just dream, just believe, do what you want. This is why we were given free will, is so we can do what we want. That is the essence of free will. Why would we be given free will, but then boxed into like certain scenarios? I think it's possible. I don't know how you're going to do it. That's not really my job to figure out how you're going to do it. I don't even totally know how I'm going to do my stuff, but I'm going to do it. I believe I can do it. And y'all know as I check this stuff off, I tell y'all about it. You know what I mean? I've seen some of the stuff in the past I wanted to do that I was able to do with God's help, with the universe's help, me putting in a little work. And I just think that needs to be the mindset we all have throughout our whole life. And then we can have lives that are more than just existence, more than just survival mode, more than just work, buy, bills, repeat, die. Lives that we can be proud of, lives that make us happy, lives that other people will look at and then hopefully base what they think they can do on because they see you living your best life. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment box below. Thank y'all so much for watching. I love each and every one of y'all. Talk to y'all later.